Hey there, I'm Stefan Kesting. This is Richie Yip, and this is the Self-Defense Tutorials channel. Today, getting out of one of the worst positions you can be in a street fight, the mount. In previous videos, I've talked about why the mount is such a bad position. In another video, I've talked about how to survive getting punched in the mount. So let's talk about the details of getting out. How many mount escapes do you use when you're just wrestling, Richie?
Man, probably 2 or 3 that are go-tos.
And how many have you seen?
Oh man, I bet you at least a dozen, maybe more, and then there's all these variations.
Yeah, right? Instead of lifting with the instep, you're dragging with the heel. Yeah, and I would agree. I probably use 2 or 3 on a day-to-day basis. And then I've seen about 10 or 12 or 15 more. This is the one that I think almost everybody should start with. So, I'm on the bottom of mount, Richie's in mount. We have to assume that he's punching. This is a 2-part technique. The first part is to get his hands to the ground. If his hands are on the ground, I can go directly to part 2. But part 1 is he's sitting here, and if he's a skilled grappler, one person I ran into problems with this initially, had a horseback riding background. So as I was trying to bridge them to put their hands down on the ground, they were just riding like that. So, at a very base level, my plan here is to bridge and get him to put his hands on the ground. Great, thank you for making that work. So I'm putting both feet on the ground and I'm bridging up to put the hands on the ground. You'll find that this doesn't work against everybody and that some people are much better at avoiding it. So I actually suggest doing the more advanced version, which is a one-legged bridge. I'm going to bridge and simultaneously knee him in the butt with my other thigh. I'm not trying to break his coccyx or knee him in the kidney. I'm just hitting him with my thigh. I'm also keeping his thighs and his knees low with my elbows. By keeping this here and then pushing here, he has to go. Now, that's part 1. His hands are on the ground. Part 2 is I reach up, clasp my hands together like a tie clinch, and I capture an arm. At this point, he can't base out to this side with the arm. I also step over the leg. At this point, he can't step out to the side with the leg. I bridge as high as I can, and then I turn. This is a super basic escape. This is my favorite mount escape. I do this all the time. I do this against white belts. It's one of those white belt techniques that still works at black belt level. I do this against black belts. There are other escapes I do as well, especially when I get really good at shutting this one down. But this is one that is day in, day out, super reliable if you drill. So let's look at the whole sequence again. Let's assume he's up. Let's assume he's punching. I'm putting on the helmet as I discussed in the previous video. I'm going to bridge up with one leg up as well. Drop my hips down to the ground, capture an arm, step over the leg. Now I don't bridge towards you guys. I don't do this. For one thing, if I go sideways and he kind of doesn't go with me, I've given him my back. Now he can choke me. Go ahead. Terrible. So after I've captured the arm, step over the leg, I bridge as high as I can up, and then turn. In a self-defense context, I control the wrists, and I get my head up. And now I can pay him back for all the striking that he was doing on me.